Hey guys, okay, this is part 2 of the rosettes. I'm going to go over a few different ways of doing them, and then we'll be doing the paper rosettes out of cardstock. But here's some other, these are some that I've received in the past, and this one is done with cupcake liners. Which is a really cute idea. It looks like they cut out the centerpiece of the cupcake liner and then brought it down. Put some tulle on it and decorated those. Here's another one. This is also a cupcake liner. These are really cute. Every time I've tried to use cupcake liners, I just can't get it right. So I may look into finding a video to do those. This is one that was also sent to me that all they did was use cardstock that they cut out, looks like a die, and then they did use a cupcake liner, but they folded it in half and then just stacked circle dies on top of each other. Added a few pieces of tulle. There's tulle in here that has, it looks like a spider web, and some felt pieces. So there's all different ways of making rosettes and different ones. These are the ones that I made yesterday. Here's one that is made out of a crepe paper rosette that has tulle and this some kind of ribbon like they make wreaths out of, but it's the smaller one. Then the paper rosette that I made, which I'm going to show you in a little bit, and then just some embellishments to make it. I believe this is 8 layers. Since this is all about layering, we're going to try to get as many layers as we can. But the rosette, the tulle, and the ribbon is 3. 4, this tree. 5, the paper rosette. 6, the ghost. 7, the trick-or-treat. And 8 is the bat. So that one got 8, and then I believe these, which is a wand that I made out of the paper rosette that I did the edge punch with, which I'll show you how to do that today. This one is 7 because it's got the eyelash trim on the back, which I wanted to show y'all how I added the straw. Otherwise, this is going to be going on the back of that, like that, to cover up that mess. But you just take the straw and flatten it. We'll go over that. But the eyelash trim, then the paper rosette, then the tulle, that's 3. The house is 4. Everything on the house is 5. The bow is 6, and then the little spider is 7. I plan on getting the teeny tiny eyeballs, Google eyeballs, for the spider. I just don't have any, and that will be 8 on that one. And then this is a bag topper that I did using the spiderweb doilies that I got in Tanya's cute little embellishment box here, which she gave some doilies, some round doilies, and then a bunch of embellishments, which I'll be using today in our lessons, in our tutorial. But it's a gold foiled doily, the spiderweb doily, so that's 2. This green ribbon, that's 3. The rosette is actually on top of the spider web. So the spider web is 4, 5. Of course, the spider is the same as the paper rosette, so that's 5, 6, 7, 8. So just stacking things. Like this rosette is 4 in itself because of how I stacked the stars and then the numbers on top of it. So there's 8 on that one as well. So here's some of the things that you're going to need for today. You will need paper, cardstock. The cardstock, I would not recommend using regular decorative paper. I don't think it's stiff enough. But cardstock. You are going to need a scoreboard and a paper cutter. Then for decorations, you're going to need, I use eyelash trim, and I use a whole bunch of ribbons, tulle, decorative tulle, and then any kind of embellishments that you're going to use. And we're going to use these from Doodlebug because I'm on a Doodlebug kick. And these buttons and probably my enamel dots if I can find them to decorate them. So the first things that we're going to do is we're going to get all the rosettes ready. So how you determine the size of your rosette is if you want a 2-inch rosette, then you want 1-inch paper, 1-inch strip of paper. If you want a 3-inch, you use 1.5 inches. 2 inches will give you a 4. So the way that they're folded, I'll have to show you, but it doubles in size. So your strips that you use will double in size. When you score, the size that you use for the score is going to determine the width of the rosette. This is a 1/2 inch score. Makes it taller, makes it thicker. See? This is a 1/4 inch score, so it's not as tall and thick as the 1/2 inch one. So what we're going to do is I'm going to cut one inch, which gives us a 2-inch. That'll give us a 2-inch circle. And then I'm going to cut one at 2 inches because my edge punch that I use is a 1/2 inch is what it takes off. So that's going to give us 1.5 inches of a paper, which is going to give us a 3-inch rosette, which is the size for this wand. And it's perfect for a wand. So let's get to cutting. So on this one, I'm going to do the 1 inch. And these just happen to be double-sided. They don't have to be double-sided. You're only going to use one side of the paper. And then I want the spider to be my 2-inch paper because I want to make a wand that is a spiderweb theme wand. So 2 inches, 1 inch. And then we're going to use one of the crepe paper rosettes that I did earlier with the diamond dust to do a rosette out of just the crepe paper. So this one we're going to score. You're going to put it on the 12-inch side, and we're going to score at every 1/2 inch. So 1/2 inch, 1, 1.5, 2. You get the idea. Okay, so it's scored at every 1/2 inch. So we'll put that one aside, and then we'll get our spider webs, our spider ones. This one, I'm going to edge punch first. So you score before you edge punch, because depending on the decorative punch that you're going to use, and this one is kind of decorative, if you punch it first and then score, it doesn't work very well with the decorative edges here. So this one I'm going to do every quarter instead of a 1/2. So every quarter you're going to score all the way down the 12-inch side. Okay, so we're going to flip this over because it's hard to see with the spider on the other side, but you can see that it's every quarter has been scored. So what I want to do then is I want to determine, and I want to keep my spider in the middle. So I'm going to punch this end, is how I'm going to punch it, because this one is a 1/2 inch, and so I want to make sure that the spider is in. So we're going to turn it over. Is that right? No, this way. So I want to punch this end, so flip it over and do this end. Okay, so just punch how you would, normally do your edge punching. I just found these about a year ago. I'd always used the decorative scissors, and I started making my photo albums and ended up watching a video one day, and they used an edge punch, and I was like, oh, my world has opened up, because I had never seen these before, and always thought that it was, oh, she has a cricket, or oh, she has a silhouette, and I don't have one of those. I have the very original cricket, which does the cartridges, and I've spent so much money on the cartridges that I can't make myself get the maker, because then I'll lose all my cartridges, and I One of these days I'm going to do it. I know I can use the Air 2 is probably what I'll end up getting, just because I can use my cartridges with them and I won't lose any of that. I can't. My edge punch is messed up, guys, so I gotta clean it up. It broke. I just can't justify spending that amount of money right now. Alright. Oh, no more. Alright, so we have the two pieces here. So basically you're going to fold them as an accordion. So fold one down, then fold one down like this. Fold one down like this, to where it's an accordion. And I flatten them as I go. You just fold them up like an accordion. So then they comes out like this. So then what you're going to do is you're going to bring both ends together like this, and either you're going to glue the two pieces. I do mine over one another, is how I do mine. So I'll put a little bit of glue. So let's go ahead and do that so that it's drying. So put a little bit of glitter glue and one on top of the other. And that way it keeps the pattern that you want, that the accordion pattern is what it does. So you basically have made a round pointy thing into it. So let's go to the next one. This one's a little bit more tedious because it's 1/4 inch and is edge punched. So you just fold back, fold over, fold back, fold over, just like you do the other one. It's just harder to do now because it's going to be more folding and holding and all that. So just go real gentle with your edge punch, depending on how decorative your edge piece is. Fold over. So fold up. It gets to be where it's too hard to hold them all. So I fold them and then let them hang off the back. And just keep that accordion style. See how it's accordion folded until you get all the way through. I find that it's more tedious to do the 1/4 inch fold, but because I like to make them chunky, that it doesn't ship well. Harder to ship them when they're chunky like that, if you want to try to send them in like a bubble wrap or they're bigger than the 1/4 inch and you can't send them in the poly bags or the bubble wrap because they tend to get squished if they're thicker. So, accordion style, same thing. Bring the ends together, just like we did the other one. Put glue on the end like that, and then bring it together like that, and then the edges, you're going to have to trim some pieces on the edges because they're not going to match with your top piece. So just glue it down and then take some trimming scissors and just follow your pattern so that it doesn't mess up the edge pieces that you have on there. Alright, and this down, up, down, up. You may have to refold it once it kind of dries to get it back in there. So, you have your pieces like this. Now what you're going to do is you're going to squeeze them together and you're going to push down at the same time. So you are flattening them out, but you want the centerpiece to pop out and form a circle in the middle like this. So you want to flatten them out, basically. So you do that by pushing all of these pieces together and then pushing it down on your workstation, your work area. So push it down just like that, and then you're going to form all these pieces in the middle like that. And I forgot to do my glue. Hold on just a second. My glue gun, yeah, I forgot to plug it in. Alright, so while that is heating up, we'll kind of form the other one as well. And that, same thing. Push in the middle and then pop it down. And they will form the rosette like that. And so what you're going to do is you're going to put hot glue in there and then put hot glue in the middle, and then it'll hold your rosette together. But see how it kind of pops up? And then once you've done it once, they usually go down pretty good back into each other. So to keep those places, what you're going to do is want to get some spare scraps and Good to go. This is a 5/8 hole punch, and since I'm going to be using orange on one side and black on the other, and then I like to coordinate them with the same color on the sides, so I'm going to do orange and black. So 2 orange and 2 blacks. I normally use, you can't see, a lot of times I'll use the glitter paper to do the top that I'm decorating, but with these 3, I covered them all, so it really didn't matter. So once you get your glue gun heated up and glued, which I don't think mine is going to be heated up yet. Oh, yeah. So we'll do this big one first. So just fold it in together like this is how I do it, and then take your glue gun and put glue in the hole, kind of fill up the hole, and then put some on the top, and then take your dot and hold it down. So then you want to hold it there for a minute or two, and that will help get the glue to cool and not move. Now, it doesn't always make it to where it's sturdy, so when you flip it over quick, because it can pop up if the glue has not hardened enough. And I have done that several times. So then you just flip it over, put in more glue into the center, just basically fill up the center now because you've got that piece on the other side, and put enough on the top to where you can put another circle and basically cover up the hole. But then once the glue gun glue hardens, then your rosette is good to go and it'll stay closed. So here's the orange side of the edged rosette, and here is the side that had the spiders. On this one, I'm going to use the spider side because I want the spiders. This is going to be a spider themed. And so you do the same thing with the 1/2 inch one. You poke it down, get it together. This one is for some reason not really making a hole. Not sure why. But you want to be able to put glue in there to where it connects, basically glues all the pieces together and forms your circle. So put hot glue gun down. Try not to burn your fingers. Doesn't always happen. And we're going to put the black on this side and then hold it there for, I don't know, 15-20 seconds. until the glue dries, hardens. And then flip it over and do the same thing on the other side. Fill up the hole, basically, is what you're doing. And put on the back. So basically what holds that shape, the rosette shape, is the hot glue and the two dots on these. And you can use, it doesn't matter what size backing you use. I usually start off with the small one and then go from there and determine which one, if I need a bigger one or not, like the wand here. I left everything open to where you could see it. You just flatten the straw here and add it to it, and then I will eventually go back and cover all that up to where it just looks nicer. I mean, it's a wand. It goes in a... So, now we've got our 3 rosettes. I'm going to decorate the candy cane one, the candy corn one as a bag topper. I'm going to turn this one, which is going to be a spider-based theme one, into a wand. And then this one, I'm going to just turn into a regular decorated rosette. So, the next thing that you do is you decorate or figure out, you know, how you want to, if you want to add layers to it, what you want to use to add and make your rosette look pretty. So I'm going to add some purple eyelash trim. It's an easy layer. I usually add it to the back of whatever I am using it on. I like the way that turns out and the way that it looks. Some people use it on the other side and then put their layers on top of it. Like this one here, where they did it on top of the layer and used it instead of tulle. So it has lots of uses. So we're going to get my handy dandy tool here because I don't like my fingers getting burned. And we're going to just add glue to the back, close to the edge, and then press down onto the glue. When I picked out my glue gun, I wasn't even thinking about using my fingers, and so I got the high heat gun, and oh, it does some damage to your fingers if you don't watch it. So I get out my Cricut weeding tool and it just becomes an extension to my fingers, and I don't burn myself usually. Trying not to get it to where you guys can see on the video. I know that it's way up there, and I'm worried about y'all not being able to see, being too far away from the project. Okay, so there's that. Now, let's get on with the decorating part of it. These are going to be, yep, not gonna work. But I am going to use my Witch's Brew feet and probably just the witch's feet in the cauldron. For this one. Y'all, if y'all haven't looked at this yet or gone and seen it, this is Tanya's embellishment box, and it's amazing. I mean, I have gotten embellishment boxes before, and you know, you got 4 items for, I want to say there's 8 or 9 items in there. Useful items too. So I'm going to use some purple glitter tulle that will be another layer. And you just, the way I do it is I put it to the rosette and cut off a piece like that, and then I always double it, if not triple it, because once again I like bling, and this tool has the glitter on it. So instead of gluing it, I don't glue, I staple, and it's too thick. I'm going to have to get my regular stapler out. And squeeze it in here. I'm not going to be able to do it. I'm going to have to glue it. So, dab of glue and a layer. And then make sure I got it on all. And then a glab of glue and a layer. So as that is drying, I'm going to trim away the excess that I So before we've even started decorating, there's 3 layers already. Alright, so the way that I like to do mine is, just as a rule of thumb, either eyelash trim tool or both. And then I pick a centerpiece and then kind of arrange things around the center piece. Like on this wand, it's the house. On this one, it was the ghost. So I'm now going to find my